with the amount of people in, it really does give a great atmosphere for these two boys to play their best here this evening. And Paul, a little bit fortunate, covering that red over the corner. Well, Luke's red.
1.
Fluking a red, second red, playing a straightforward safety.
Ronnie O'Sullivan 1.
Shouldn't be all that difficult for Hunter to leave nothing on here, but the shot clock is in. Oh, and very early in the match he uses up one of his 5 permitted timeouts, so he can take as long as he likes over this shot. But don't forget, there are 6 frames, and after this he'll have only 4 timeouts left.
Understandable he's taking a timeout though, Clive, especially where the reds are. They're well spread and very difficult to leave the white in a position to leave them safe.
Yeah, the question is, how near is the cue ball to the blue? Very near. Nearer than I thought at first glance.
That's obviously cut down the angle that Paul wanted to get off this side cushion. Well, he's looking to rest on this red on the top cushion. Great escape, it just depends whether he's covered the one down the cushion here. But well calculated.
Yes, had to play it with a huge amount of left of centre striking to widen the angle off the cushion. I always thought that he'd be playing his escape to that red, but it was more difficult than I thought at first glance. O'Sullivan only 5 seconds left, can't afford to do too much thinking. You'll have heard the beeps going to warn the player from 7 seconds onwards. Hunter unintentionally cannoning a second red.
Possible red Ronnie could take on here to the right corner. Well, he's having a look at something else. Well, it had to be thin.
Foul. The miss. 4 Hunter 4.
Wanted to make a very thin contact on the red going across it, so that he didn't cannon the other red. There was a pot on there, but Hunter's chief thought was safety. Betfred are the sponsors, and here are the odds on the match. Evens O'Sullivan, 9-4 Hunter, 9-4 the draw. O'Sullivan 6-4 on to win the opening frame. Yes, we've had a few time warnings so far, but we haven't actually had a time foul in the league. But the threat of committing a time foul has been very influential on a number of occasions. It's made the player either hurry his shot or hurry his choice. Didn't hold the cue ball quite as he was hoping to.
Great shot. Just able to see enough of the pink to pot it to the middle.
Hunter's been struggling for form lately. Reached the semi-final of the Grand Prix, the first world ranking event of the season, but has won only one match of his last 5 on the world ranking circuit subsequently.
15.
So he's a little short on confidence, and when that's the case,
16.
it's even more desirable that he gets a good start. No problem with the time clock, of course, when a player is in
23.
a break building situation. It's the longer shots and the safety
24.
shots in the snooker escapes where the time clock comes more into play. Clock starts again as soon as all the colours have been respotted. In that case, the black.
32.
And when the colour doesn't have to be respotted, the time clock starts again when the cue ball stops.
Well, great pot there. To concentrate on the black and being on the pink spot.
39.
Didn't quite get into that enough. He's going away from the red slightly.
Still time to have a look round and play the shot. With 4 seconds to spare. But maybe getting a little bit near the limit. It did put him off a little. Simply didn't hit the black quite hard enough. So having had a chance to clinch the frame at that visit, O'Sullivan has a chance to get right back into it, although the balls are far from ideally set for a clearance.
Played on the red, on the black spot, and that's perfect.
8.
He'll have a little bit more work to do with the rest, though. Some sort of angle on this black so he can stun over towards those reds near the right cushion. Oh, that's a great shot. Cannon into the red.
16.
Can you really see what he's doing? Oh, well, now there's a time problem, having to get the long rest out with the extension on it. 6, 5. Still 4 seconds to spare.
No problem to Ronnie. We know how quick he is anyway.
In the ordinary way, time per shot no problem for someone who's made a 147 in 5 minutes 20 seconds. But again, extension on his cue required.
Still
Still have plenty of time though. I think one of the big things with the 25-second shot limit is making up your mind what to do, even if it requires extra equipment, like an extension. It's not a system or a style of
40.
match which is any good for ditherers.
All these players, though, in this league, Premier League, have very quick snooker brains indeed, and can certainly weigh things up in a fraction. Great positional shot. 48. He's got the angle here on the red. He might be able to remove the other one with it. Would like to have been get that red near the corner pocket. Difficult to get on it from here.
And because he had to make a full ball contact on the second red, the cue ball was virtually stopping on impact, so you couldn't get a good angle on the pink.
That's the safety shot. But Ronnie's got himself right back in this opening play. Swaving around the brown here with lots of side. What about that? That's a bonus.
A blue snooker back.
Two cushions, side and top cushion.
O'Sullivan thought about that, decided to attempt the long red, but missed it by a very wide margin indeed. Not the easiest of clear-ups for Hunter.
Yeah, I think brown to blue would be the problem. Although the blue is pretty much off that side cushion. Just drop this yellow in.
£1,000 per frame at stake. So here's the key shot. You may not have the best angle on the brown to get smack on the blue.
He elected to run through off two cushions. 14.
Yes, would have been better if he'd had a slightly different angle so that he could have screwed direct to get nearer the blue. Blue and pink still needed.
Well,
it's not a bad second shot, but would have expected to get that one.
Can you pull the cameras away, please?
Fairly easy to hit for Ronnie, but always looking to get them safe is the difficult part. I'll be happy with that.
Yes, although he couldn't get on the pink, Hunter still thought the blue was worth going for, because it would have put him 13 in front with only 13 on the table. O'Sullivan making no attempt at blue though. Made sure he cut it onto the side cushion and back.
This is one of those tricky ones. Paul's hoping to get the cannon on the pink there, leave the white in behind the black, but he's got the blue fairly safe.
Perfect cue ball and a good object ball.
Well, good shot. Good weight on the blue. That's an awkward cueing as well. Although Ronnie can play this white with a... Well, he's playing plain ball, he's going to say with a touch aside. He might be able to cut this in. No, up and down for the safety.
Yes, that's fine. As long as Hunter got the cue ball somewhere near the cushion, that was always going to be all right. And again, O'Sullivan deliberately overcutting the blue. No attempt at the pot. Quite so good.
Well, the first real chance then for both players. Ronnie will definitely take this on. Stun over for the pink.
Chance for Hunter to pot the blue, and the cue ball will automatically be coming back for the pink, which he also needs.
Great shot.
Five.
He knew there was a danger of the in-off, but he really couldn't do much about it. Just managed to avoid it though. This is frame ball. Play
Second frame. Ronnie O'Sullivan to break.
against the reigning world champion, Ronnie O'Sullivan. 2 points for a win, 1 for a draw in the Betfred Premier League. And O'Sullivan electing to break off left-handed. He's not quite as good left-handed as right, but still very good, and it seems to suit him to switch it around.
Good return safety from Paul.
Awkward queuing, tight on the rail. Needed to make a thin contact. He did very well.
Well, he's covered the left-hand side of the table. No escape to book there for Paul. And well, he could be forced into a pot here. Paul's having a look at the spread to the right corner pocket. I think he's playing a thin safety, actually.
Well, he's called for a timeout, which is the second of the 5 that he's allowed in the 6 frames. Was able to take as long as he liked, but still didn't play a good shot, although he was in difficulty.
Yes, Ronnie played a good safety there. Really cut the choices down that Paul had.
O'Sullivan knew that he got plenty of time there to walk round the table the long way to have a look at the reds, instead of just shifting to his left from his original shot to take the blue.
6.
It's almost exactly a year ago since these two players met in the final of the Masters at Wembley Conference Centre. O'Sullivan led 7-2, Hunter won 10-9. No problem at all with the time clock in a break building situation. Plenty of time to look round. Having a look at the shot clock in the arena as he did so. Hasn't got too much time left, but it's only a black off the spot. 2 seconds, he's got it down to a fine art.
22.
This is the first match of the evening. Second match of the evening. James Brown, an unfamiliar name, better known as Jimmy White, will be in action against Marco Fu.
30. 31.
By finishing just a little below the blue, he has to take this red from a slightly greater distance
36.
than he would have done, so the pot isn't quite so automatic. I think O'Sullivan might have been just a little irritated with himself at having finished the wrong side of the blue. He'd still got that in his mind because he is such a perfectionist.
I think the thing is as well, Clive, obviously with the time limit the players have got, the shot time limit, is the fact that they're working things out 3 or 4 shots ahead is the norm. And of course, when that doesn't work out as they intended playing, they've got to go to plan B. That, of course, makes it very interesting indeed.
13.
down into the middle of the reds here. Well, I've got a bit of a heavy contact, but it's okay.
21. 22.
I think that Hunter could make O'Sullivan pay here for missing that red when he appeared to be well set on 36.
29.
And if Hunter were to win this frame, then O'Sullivan would have to win the other 4 to win the match
30.
and get his 2 points.
Getting a little cannon into them. Well, not as he intended. He didn't over-leave himself on one to the corner, but as we see the overhead.
37.
But he's still got one to the green pocket. Well played. Well, all the reds in the open. Oh, well.
That was absolutely basic.
38.
This carelessness, lack of concentration. Was well in there and a great chance to take the second frame. Now he might have given it to Ronnie.
Well, Hunter's blunder was worse than O'Sullivan's.
Yeah, it's not as if there was any pressure as well with the time clock. He had plenty of time with that yellow. It's just a question whether Ronnie punishes him for it.
$16. $17.
So, red pink and red pink would mean that O'Sullivan wouldn't need to get on the yellow to clinch the frame.
Gone for the blue. Perfect angle to stun down onto the yellow. Taking the blue, Clive, he now needs the yellow. No problem.
I think that showed how confident O'Sullivan was. There was no making sure of the frame by taking the pink. O'Sullivan always wants to play this game perfectly, it seems to me. And
34.
In his mind, blue was the right shot. And, even though he ended up on the yellow just about
400 to break.
Yes, that miss on the yellow from Paul. Ronnie to make a decisive break to level things up. But Paul's left one on here from the break-off shot.
Hunter left his break-off shot far too far away from the ball cushion. O'Sullivan was able to play with unimpeded cueing.
Oh, that's perfect. He's got a slide angle, he can stun over for the black to the same corner. able to do that. The red was fairly straight, but able to take. Well, he's looking at the pink. Pink spot not available. Goes behind the pack.
The 25 seconds doesn't start until
12.
all balls are properly respotted.
13.
Well, a couple of options here. You can go into them at pace, or there's a couple of reds to play on also. Well, he hit them well, but just glanced off them slightly. Wanted to hit them fuller than that.
18.
Always need to hit that top red full ball. Of course, if the pink's normally there, of course, that's the target. Ronnie's still got one here though to the yellow pocket. No, he's playing a safety shot actually. And well, it's not the best one he's ever played.
In concentrating on covering the red nearest the left corner, the one that he actually struck has finished in a possible position to left middle. I think with the shot clock, all players have found that the more you can forget it, the better off you are, but Hunter's overhit that.
Yes, the one in the middle isn't available either. The one in the middle of the pack, I should say. So, end of break.
He overhit that by a long way, didn't he, Mike? He had a good margin of error for that left-hand red.
403.
Anywhere in the middle of the table would have done. Now, Ronnie's come along. Just take a quick look at this two-ball plant here to the left corner. Just depends if he can avoid the pink. Oh, wow. Not as intended, but he'll take it.
Could be an important fluke, that.
Yes, and get rid of this red. There, the black has certainly opened things up a little at this end of the table.
13. 14.
Clever shot. Elected to come off the side of the pack. He knew he was bound to leave himself on another.
21.
Developed another couple of reds.
O'Sullivan is so creative, so artistic in developing the bunch. Seems to know just how and when best to do it. another beautifully judged cannon. O'Sullivan in a position now to take the frame at this visit.
$35. 36. 42. 43. 49.
Well,
50.
already Paul requiring snookers. As soon as he got the bunch open there, Clive, it was pretty much end of frame.
56.
O'Sullivan absolutely deadly
57.
in that sort of position. And the only remaining point of interest in this frame is whether O'Sullivan
64.
can make a century. It's £1,000 per frame and £1,000 per century.
65.
Possible 107 on. 106 now with the pink. There's enough there though to make that century.
72. 80.
O'Sullivan looks in great form and touch to me. Struggled last week in Malta, lost his first match 5-0 to Graham Dott of Scotland, a much underestimated player, and that was just about the most unlikely thing you could think of. O'Sullivan missing. It's possible to have a draw. Left-handed from O'Sullivan on the break-off for no apparent reason. But he couldn't have played it better right-handed. Making Hunter think. Only 9 seconds left. 7, 6. And with time running out, he calls his third time out. He's used 3 of his 5. And we're only just into the 4th frame. It certainly would be bad news if it got to a tricky situation in the last frame and he got no timeouts left.
Well, he's looking to try and get off one of these reds back to the bulk area. He's having to swerve around the green slightly. Well played. Needs to avoid the blue. Yeah, more the white's close though to that corner pocket. Can't get better than that.
It made a significant difference. The cue ball just staying out. O'Sullivan won't be potting anything from there. But from the balk line, well, it would have been even money, perhaps even a shade of odds on. So, it forces O'Sullivan into claiming his first time out.
surprisingly, considering where the white finished. This red near the black is a thin cut. It looks like Paul's taking it on. No, safety. Ronnie, coming off the side of the bunch here, is just checking that he doesn't push anything towards that left-hand corner.
When those beeps start, you've not got to let yourself be distracted.
Yeah, absolutely.
Eight seconds, 7, better make his mind up. Another timeout called. This is the 4th of Hunter's permitted 5. He's used 2 in this frame. You're not allowed to use more than 3 in any one frame. And even with the timeout, he ended up playing a poor safety.
Well, twice he's done that actually. He did it in the first frame as well. He took the timeout and then in the end made a right mess of it.
O'Sullivan gets the black back on its spot. And when he can get rid of the red to the left of the black, I would fancy him very strongly to win the frame at this visit.
16.
Now he gets rid of the red I was talking about.
30.
The black will then be potable
31.
To both corner pockets. No more bets on this frame, would you say, Mike?
No, they've been suspended.
and it's testimony to how highly we regard O'Sullivan's skill, that with so many balls to go to reach the snooker's required stage for his opponent, we just assume he's going to do it.
53.
Just wanted a touch more on the cue ball.
Well, not absolutely perfect, and the cause of it, you pointed out, Mike. Not a certainty, this, but a near certainty.
Wow.
62.
How could we ever doubt him? Wonderful talent. Great entertainer.
68. 69.
Well, in my opinion, nobody better when he's in full flight.
'76. 77.
Well, he missed the chance of a century. Put that brown to the middle a couple of frames ago, and perhaps he might make one here.
82.
And of course, it was the last frame.
83.
Oh, he's done it again. Well, so Hunter has got to win the 2 remaining frames
Frame 5.
to earn a draw,
Momentum to break.
and thus 1 point in the league table. O'Sullivan well placed to press for the win, and 2 points. Well, I'm assuming that was an attempt at a pot, although he missed it by such a long way that I had my doubts, but O'Sullivan £3,000 to the good for his evening's work. Hunter 1,000, but of course O'Sullivan could have 5,000 in his pocket because he had 2 very good chances for centuries.
Well, he elected to play the safety, and Ronnie's brought the red there this right corner, although he has been quite fortunate, left it awkward cueing here for Paul over the green. Tremendous cueing.
With such awkward cueing, that was a great shot.
Yeah, just thinking as well, actually, Clive. You know, with Paul already taken 4 of the allotted 5 timeouts, it could be putting a little bit of pressure on him actually with the speed that he's going to be playing. And we've got a frame and a half here.
7.
I couldn't agree more, Mike.
Won't make any difference, of course. Now he's in and amongst them. Not a seat to behind. Ronnie O'Sullivan Sullivan has played one or two good safeties, and Paul has had to study the situation on 2 or 3 occasions. That's why he's had to take those timeouts, but this is the first time that he's really been in amongst them for some time. Took the opener, of course, but it's been mainly all Ronnie since then. Well, that was a bad shot. Obviously didn't want to cannon into the green and end a break.
20.
Just a reminder of the second match of the evening, passing below you on the info bar. Yes, 20 from Hunter, but didn't capitalise fully on that opportunity, lost position rather badly. Thin safety from O'Sullivan, and I was intrigued to see about an hour before the match, O'Sullivan on this match table practicing thin safeties, not just potting balls.
Could have done without the knuckle on the middle pocket. Yes, I was intrigued with that as well, Clive. You know, he's practicing those safety shots, Ronnie, for about 20 minutes or so, trying to get that consistent contact. So the angle of the cue ball back into bulk. And it's great when we see the centuries flying in and the high breaks, but also these boys can certainly mix it as well, including Ronnie and all the others, but he's forced the error out of Paul.
Well, the black blocks the red, but there are other reds available.
Dearly love to get the black back on its own spot, but he can't now because the pink is occupying it.
8.
Maybe tempted to open the bunch here, staying on the loose red. And you shouldn't always resist temptation.
21.
Well, slightly overdone on the blue, but he's got it to the corner.
Left-handed.
It wasn't clean.
intended cannon.
35.
Just flicking the red and taking the cue ball away from its intended position.
Can see enough of this one to pot it, but it's not easy.
Surprising thing there was that O'Sullivan lost position. Normally his positional play is very sure indeed.
1.
Left-handed, but just flicked that red. And by that fine margin he lost
7.
position. The break came to an end.
8. 13. 14.
Well, that could be the awkward red, but he's got a good angle here to try and nudge it off that side cushion. The two on the top, not too bad. He can attack those from the black. Well played.
26.
Still two tough reds up ahead.
27.
Looks a little straight on this pink. He's going to have to power it into, well, anywhere near those reds. I don't think he can play a cannon. Well, he attempted it. And I think the left-hand red is slightly off the cushion.
33.
Difficult to play a plant from here. There's no way he'll take this on. He's just looking to get some sort of safety, possible snooker in behind the black. 33 from Paul, but he's left an easy one here for Ronnie to put him in some trouble.
I thought that Hunter might have been a little bit more ambitious with his safety then.
Yeah, perhaps the black was just blocking the path of the cue ball to get back into the bulk area, Clive. Might be able to just catch this one in the middle of the table.